لا إله إلا الله.
الحمد لله إن الحمد لله نستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلله فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أما بعد وقد قال الله تعالى في كتاب العزيز بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وإذ تأذن ربكم لئن شكرتم لأزيدنكم ولئن كفرتم إن عذابي لشديد وقال تعالى والله جعل لكم من بيوتكم سكنا وجعل لكم من جلود الأنعام بيوتا تستخفونها يوم ظعنكم ويوم إقامتكم وقال عليه الصلاة والسلام مثل البيت الذي يذكر الله فيه والبيت الذي لا يذكر الله فيه مثل الحي والميت أو كما قال عليه الصلاة والسلام. My dear respected elders, brothers in Islam, Allah Ta'ala gives us one statement and tells us وَلَئِن شَكَرْتُمْ, if you show gratitude to the bounties of Allah Ta'ala, لَأَزِيدَنَّكُمْ, I will increase those bounties to you. وَلَئِن كَفَرْتُمْ, the opposite of showing gratitude, ingratitude to Allah. Here in kafartum does not mean disbelief. It means ingratitude. Because disbelief in itself, disbelieving in Allah Ta'ala is not showing any sort of acknowledgement or gratitude to our Creator. That indeed my punishment is also very severe. So one of the bounties which Allah Ta'ala has given us is the bounty of the home. And Allah Ta'ala mentions in the Quran about this bounty. And He states in Surah Al-Nahl, وَاللَّهُ جَعْلَ لَكُم مِّن بِيُوتِكُمْ سَكَنًا. Firstly, Allah Ta'ala has given you homes in which you find rest, which you find peace. And this is the natural process of life itself. We go out to the workplace, we go out to earn. And in most environments, it's a stressful environment. We are working hard. Our guard is up. At the end of the day, we go home to now wind back, relax, and find peace. That's why if there's no peace in the home itself, and we're going from one stressful environment to another, it's very hard for us to continue in that such a situation. So, the homes themselves, our houses, are one of the gifts of Allah. Then He mentions about some of the raw materials which Allah Ta'ala has provided for us, min juludil an'am, from the skins of the animal. People used to build their houses from those things. Also for those who used to travel, they used to make tents from them. Today we use iron, we use bricks, also provided by Allah Ta'ala. So the home is a bounty. How do we show gratitude for this bounty of Allah Ta'ala? وَلَئِن شَكَرْتُمْ, firstly, verbal gratitude. That's a part of it. How do we show verbal gratitude for the homes that we have? Very simple and easy. The first thing, when we enter our homes, we enter according to the sunnah, with the right foot. And we take the name of Allah Ta'ala. It's easy saying Bismillah or Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim when we enter our homes. There's a specialized dua for entering the homes. Allahumma inni as'aluka khairul mawlaji wa khairul makhraji. Bismillah walajna wa Bismillah kharajna wa ala Allahi rabbina tawakkalna. We can say this on entering and leaving. But the very basic dua is as simple as Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. One hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, which he mentions that when a person enters into his home and he takes the name of Allah, it prevents the shayateen from coming in. When a person enters and does not take the name of Allah, one shaitan says to the other shaitan, we have a place to stay the night. And then enters the home. The food is put on the table. He doesn't say Bismillah before he starts eating. Doesn't take the name of Allah Ta'ala. Then the shaitan says to the other shaitan, not only do we have a place to stay, we've got food for the night as well. So the shayateen participate in our home activities and also participate in eating our food when we do not take the name of Allah. Second thing, the home, as I mentioned, is where we let our guard down. When we go out, our guard becomes up. Our behavior actually changes. When we enter the home, we relax. The guard comes down. So to have a good environment in our homes, if we are able to do that, when we, a corner of the house or room of the house, if you've got that available, or even a corner of a room, where we make a place for ibadah. We make it an environment. I said if we have a whole room, that's great. If we don't, just a section where we put some musallas down, some books of hadith, Quran, some tasbihs, that when we look at that section, it reminds us of making the dhikr of Allah Ta'ala. The dhikr of Allah Ta'ala in form of salah, of Quran, whatever means of dhikr, it draws the mercy of Allah Ta'ala, and it draws also the malaika. So when the malaika are entering our homes, they give it a positive environment. The hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says, مثل البيت الذي يذكر الله فيه والبيت الذي لا يذكر. The example of the house in which the dhikr and remembrance of Allah Ta'ala takes place, and that house there's no remembrance, is like the living and the dead. Rasulullah also likened it to a maqabir, to the graveyards. There's no life in the graveyards. When we don't do any good deeds, that's why one of the sunnahs of Rasulullah used to pray his faraid in the mosque. But then he would leave some sunnah and nafil to go back and pray inside the house. I mentioned who we let in into the home and who we don't let in. Obviously, we only let people that have, people that we can trust into our own homes. And who's the most deceiving? The shayateen. And the best of, or one of the greatest creations of Allah, the malaika. We want to fill our houses with that. But there's certain habits or certain things that prevent the malaika from coming into our homes. One of those things is pictures. So now, hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and this is a narration where he came home and Aisha radiallahu ta'ala has put a certain curtain up and had pictures on the curtain. And he then told Aisha radiallahu ta'ala to take that down. That now you are preventing the malaika from entering the home by having pictures displayed on the house. Imagine we have a family portrait or our children graduating. Just for that sake, we prevent the malaika from coming into our homes. Is that really worth it? Now people always ask, we go buy groceries and all the groceries have pictures over on the packaging. What's mentioned in the hadith that is if it's displayed. So let's put away in the pantry. That's blocked off. Then the ulama say that does not prevent the malaika. If we do have pictures, put them in an album and put them away. That would not prevent. But when they're displayed in our homes, then that will stop the malaika from coming to our homes. Another one is a dog, which Rasulullah discouraged. Unless there's a reason for having a dog. If we're in a very dangerous neighborhood, and for our own protection, we have a guard dog. If a person needs a guide dog, or he's on a farm and he needs a sheepdog, these are valid Shari'i excuses to keep a dog, but just as a pet. Again, that will now stop the malaika from coming into our homes. So, it said that we should build an environment in our homes where It is an environment that brings us closer to our Creator, Allah Ta'ala, and also protect our homes. These days we put alarms, security cameras, security screens on our windows and doors to protect it from the physical aspect, from robbers and burglary. But how about the spiritual aspect? It was a habit of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It's mentioned that when a person first enters or buys or moves into a new home, the first thing that should be done is that Surah Al-Baqarah should be read. Surah Al-Baqarah cleanses the home and protects it from the effects of the shayateen, of the jinns, and of black magic as well. And also have a habit once in a while to read Surah Al-Baqarah in our homes. It is a protection for our homes. Now, it's a very lengthy surah, so we can't read it in one sitting. We can break it up over a period of time, but ensure that the full Surah Al-Baqarah is read in our homes. Another great surah is that of the Ayat al-Kursi. Ayat al-Kursi is also there for protection. We should use it whenever we feel vulnerable, either physically or spiritually. The thing to read is Ayat al-Kursi. We can do that also in our homes. We should try to read Ayat al-Kursi. Again, a daily protection for our homes and for ourselves as well. Allah Ta'ala give us tawfiq, inshallah. وَأَقُولُ قَوْلِي هَذَا وَأَسْتَغْفِرُ اللَّهَ وَأَتُوبُ إِلَيْهِ. الحمد لله إن الحمد لله نستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلله فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أما بعد يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا ثم صلى على خاتم النبيين وإمام المرسلين فقد أمركم الله بذلك في كتابه المبين فقال عز من قائل إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما وقال صلى الله عليه وسلم من صلى عليه واحدة صلى الله بها عليه عشرة اللهم صل وبارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت وباركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد وارضي اللهم عن الأربعة الخلفاء أئمة الحنفاء أبي بكر الصديق وعمر الفاروق وذو النورين عثمان وأبي الستين علي وعن آل بيتك النبي الطيبين الطاهرين وعن أزواج أمهات المؤمنين وعن الصحابة أجمعين وعن التابعين ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين وعنا معهم بمنك وكرمك وعفوك وإحسانك يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم أعز الإسلام والمسلمين، اللهم أصلح حال المسلمين، اللهم اجمع كلمتهم على الحق وردهم إلى دينك ردا جميلا. اللهم ارفع علم الدين وانصر المجاهدين. اللهم انصر المجاهدين الذين يجاهدون في سبيلك ولإعلاء كلمتك. اللهم ثبت أقدامهم واربط على قلوبهم وقوي شوكتهم وأنزل السكينة عليهم وانصرهم على عدوك وعدوهم إنك على كل شيء قدير. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. عباد الله إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون فاذكروا الله العلي الجليل يذكركم واشكروه على نعمه يزدكم ولذكر الله أكبر والله يعلم ما تصنعون. أقيموا الصلاة.
الله أكبر الله